How's it going? Ryan here. Today I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on SPY. Happened to be a loser. I sized up today and took a little bit bigger loss than I should have, but we'll dive into that in a second. Before we get into that, we're on the daily time frame here looking at SPY. Some levels I was watching. Most interesting one, I guess, would be this 437.3.2-ish area. Reason being, it's this major area of resistance from this most recent lower high. So we're approaching it again. Really want to see if we can kind of establish a new trend from here. Do we break out of that range and kind of come and continue our move up? Or do we reject off here and continue our path down? So big area that I've been watching, and today we finally got up in there. Some other levels I've been watching, nothing's really changed from the past couple days. Some gap fills to the downside. We could potentially see if we do fail here and go lower. One thing that I am noticing, a bit of a pattern here. We have higher volume on this push up here. Then volume kind of drops off as we approach this top level. Selling volume increases, buying volume is pretty low, and then we reject. Likewise, here off the bottom, we get a rise in buying volume. We gap up, we come approach this level. The past couple days, volumes dropped pretty significantly. So curious to see if this is a bit of an exhaustion up at the top here. If we do come back, pull back, I mean, I don't think anybody would be surprised with a pullback at this point. Multiple gap ups in a row. So yeah, it looks like volume's kind of slowing down as we approach this range. So we didn't get through it today, or at least maintain above it. It'd be interesting to see if we're able to close above that on a daily time frame and kind of establish a new trend, or if we reject off there again. So something on a daily time frame to kind of like a bigger time frame to look at and kind of think about. Whoa, what just happened there? Alrighty. We got the high of yesterday, also kind of coincides closely with the high of Friday. Then we have the low of yesterday where we made a double bottom and bounce from there. We are kind of in this range. If you look at since Friday, we were kind of stuck in this range without many breakouts. We did get a breakout today, maintained above that area, so we have broken out of that range. So that's something to consider as we kind of have continued that push up. We'll see if we get through this 437.3 level and continue that push up, or if we reject from here. But those are the levels I was watching. I was watching either a break to the upside or the downside. I also have this 435.2 level in here that I was watching. And in the pre-market, as I was waiting for the market to open, I drew this trend line. We had this level right around 434 was the bottom, and then we bounced off that about 4 times since. Right off the open, we sold off. We had a pretty aggressive sell, broke through that 435.2 level, broke through that trend line, and this is where I was looking to get into a position. So as that was something I was watching, if we could break and close below both of these things, this support trend line and this level on the 5-minute, I was looking for a retest to get in on puts. So we can take a look at this on the 2-minute. Once we broke below that level, I got in on a retest here. So this took one contract here. I took 434 strike price, and that was my target. It was the bottom. There's a nice whole number, and it was kind of that near the low of the pre-market. So that was my target. Entered on the retest here on the 2-minute. Once we closed below on the 5-minute, was in profit pretty good down here. We started to bounce back up. I added one more position on one of these candles. I can't remember which, but on the retest of this trend line on the 2-minute, I added a second position. You can kind of see how we ended up here. I stopped out here for a loss. So took a position here, took a position here, and stopped out on this candle. I felt pretty good about this trade going into it. We got the break below key level and a trend line on the 5-minute, closed below that on the 5-minute. We got the retest. We were retesting, showing longer upper wicks, smaller candle bodies. That to me seemed like we were holding that level pretty well, or that trend line, respecting it on the retest. yeah, and I could easily see us kind of coming back down to the range, the bottom of this range here. However, that did not happen. So as I'm looking at this, trying to understand, maybe was there something that I didn't see during the trade? One thing that I noticed pretty immediately is we have pretty low selling volume. After we break through that level, the volume on selling kind of drops. On this push up here and this retest of the trend line, we have higher volume. Although that does drop as we come up and retest the trend, so that still looks all right. But then this one, wow, I did not mean to do that. This one candle here, this red candle, look at the volume here, super low. And then the continuing green candle's higher volume as well, and raising as we kind of bust through here. I was already out at this point, so. But regardless, I guess volume does tell a little bit of a tale here as we have declining volume. We have this hammer candle at the bottom. That's typically a reversal sign. And then a big jump in buying volume as well after that. So I think that could have been a good signal to me, seeing the lowering of volume on the selling, printing a hammer candle here, a big jump in buying volume off that hammer candle, which is typically a sign of reversal. So yeah, I stuck in it. I wanted to maintain in my position and maintain that we were going to continue down as long as we didn't break back above this trend line or this level. So I held through both these candles as we had been pushed up and then pushed back down and closed below those levels. And this one here is what got me out. So risk tolerance, I took a bigger loss. Part of that is because I sized up. Part of that is because I was trying to just wait based on technical analysis rather than a percentage or a profit number or a loss number in this scenario. But I'm not mad at the trade. I think I could have paid more attention to this price action here. Hammer candle, big buy volume as we jump up. Kind of taking in that as maybe a warning to be a little cautious. But that is the one trade that I took today, and that ended up being a loser. I felt pretty good about it. I tried to maintain and hold throughout and not get shook out of that position. But yeah, we got burnt a little bit, and like I said, you can see that volume kind of drop. This buy volume pretty much engulfing, bullish engulfing with super high volume there. Subsequent red candle, much lower volume. But then you also have this. The lowest volume out of all 5 of those is this breakthrough. So it doesn't always correlate, but it can be something to watch. I think what is important is also you see on that break and that push up, we have rising volume. That leads me to a trade that I did not take, but I want to look at this now and kind of think about why I was considering it and also looking at it now after the fact. So I don't have it on this chart, but on my 5-minute, I usually use the exponential moving average, the 9-minute on the 5-minute only, or the 9-day, sorry, on the 5-minute. I don't know why that just sent my charts out of nowhere. So one trade I was looking at was we have that breakthrough. We have the reversal and the bust through those levels on increasing volume. Nice big green bars too. We'll have a lower volume pullback. Volume declines on the pullback, respects the EMA, and I was considering entering there. I did not, but I think the setup was there, and you can see what happened. Obviously, I couldn't have predicted that we'd get that much of a push, but that big push and breakout to the upside with a low volume pullback, respecting the EMA. I think that's something that I'd like to try on further days if I see a setup like that again, because I considered it. I even pulled up option contracts, but I didn't take it. And I think that was part of hesitancy due to having a losing trade already. But if you look on the 2-minute as well, it's pretty beautiful. It even gave a second setup. This right here would have been the most perfect entry. Reason being, we have huge rising volume as we push up. We have declining volume as we come down. Big push in volume on the buying candle. Huge drop in volume as we come down and retest again. This entry is perfect. And then you see the rising volume as we break out again to the upside. So that's a nice example of volume price action working as you'd expect. Rising volume on a push up, that shows bullish momentum. Declining volume on a pullback into a level like an EMA, huge spike as we bounce initially, huge spike in volume, price comes back down, low volume, retest that area, still respects it. That would have been an absolutely beautiful entry right here if you combine that with the 5 minute as well. Yeah, so that's something I'd, hindsight 2020, I wish I would have taken that trade. As you can see, we went all the way up to my next level at 437.3-ish. Like I said, couldn't have predicted that much of a move out of it, but nonetheless, something to keep in mind. If you see a setup like that, just trust in yourself and take it. That being said, that's all I have. I took a losing trade. I like that breakdown and retest, targeting this 434 bottom, pre-market low. We didn't get it, and that happens. So can't win them all. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I do trade live every Monday through Friday. I stream it live on this channel. If you want to come hang out, say what's up, please do. That's all I got for you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you again for watching. Peace.